goddess formless, listen. Chakras align, they glisten. We teleport, astral project. Welcome to Hoodies, the podcast. Like, comment, sub, ask. We go with deeper the blast. I don't even know what a lane is. Ain't no lane. Shit ain't no box, or maybe yeah, that's what a lane is. Universal. We the free thinkers. We move the void of blinkers. Wear the mic, God tell the truth. Scared men, we call them stinkers. Cause you're dead stiff, and I got the gift. Keeping the black right off the rip. And that's on life. If truth was abroad, I would make her my wife. Life in a sauna position. The goddess formless, listen. Just listen. Hoodies, the podcast. With the God, yeah.
Hey, peace, what's poppin'? What's going on? I want to welcome you all back to another dope-ass episode of Hoodies, the podcast. I'm the God, Rashidi, and you know the deal. This is another quick in and out. Just had a little something I needed to get off. Real quick. So shout out to black men, women, boys, girls, especially the elders. You know the Dizzle. Word. Alright, so let's get into this. You know, throughout my travels I hear and I have heard and read on social media, people say things like I deserve. You know, especially women. But not limited to, but especially women. You know what I'm saying? I deserve a man who won't or will. You fill in the blanks. You know what I'm saying? I deserve to be kissed and cuddled on. I deserve to be swept off my feet. I got a good job, luxury car, stocks. I deserve. Men too. I deserve a woman who will or won't, blah, blah, blah. You fill in the blanks. I got no baby mamas. Or I got one and I take care of my kid. Supposed to do that. I'm gainfully employed. I work out. I got dough. I'm winning. I deserve to have 2 to 3 women. I deserve. That almost sound like me, you know, about the 2, 3 women. But I deserve. And people in general. I deserve to be happy. I deserve peace. I deserve riches. I deserve blah, 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 blah. And I'm here to say, with such great joy, might I add, that you're all liars. You are all liars, and guess what? Takes one to know one. Because I'm a liar too. Oh yeah, I said it. I'm a liar, man. I'm a liar. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, we never get what we deserve. It just doesn't happen like that. You know, take for example a singer or a rapper or an athlete for that matter who's like really good. You know, first of all, talent, that's just 10% of the game. That's just 10. That's a small smidgen. You think it would be the bulk of it, but the talent, that's very, very small. Because outside of the talent, you got business, work ethic, professionalism, which tend to ruin a whole lot of careers, be it music, entertainment, whatever. You know, even being an entrepreneur. Okay? So, you know, say an extremely talented singer, rapper, athlete, whatever. Let's talk the music industry. And although the music industry has changed a lot, at one point in time, a singer, a rapper, whoever, a musician had to, in their contract, you know, discuss the amount of points that they'd get off albums, CD sales or whatever. And I said things have changed because now it depends a lot on streaming. I ain't gonna front like I know all the ins and outs that goes with that, right? They're streaming now, but going off the old template of, negotiating the number of points that you get, and royalties and all that stuff, publishing, and all of that. If you don't negotiate, what you feel as though you deserve because of what you bring to the table, then you won't get that. You won't get it. We never get what we deserve. There's an old saying, and I think the first time I ever heard it was from this rapper by the name of Jim Jones, right? He said something along the lines of, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. You do not get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. And I got my own. And my own quote is, you only deserve that in which you work hard for. Again, you only deserve that in which you work hard for. So if it's peace, Are we really negotiating that? Again, because we're all connected. Are we really working hard for that? Happiness. Are we negotiating that? Are we really working hard for that? For example, okay, we say we want peace. We say we want happiness. That's what we say. That's what we say all the time. I want peace. I want happiness. But then what about the toxic people that's in our lives? And the toxic people could be anybody. It could be It could be a parent. It could be your moms. It could be your pop. Your pop could be somebody whom you'd never trust on the phone with your lady. It could be your moms who's toxic, and it could be siblings, so-called friends, cousins. It could be people in your circle. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if we don't make it a point to cut those things out, then what are we really doing? Okay, what about toxic behavior? Y'all heard me talk about diet before. Having a decent diet, I suppose that goes towards happiness, right? Diet, again, your circle, being with someone who's bad for you. You know what I mean? Someone who wishes not to water you and be a good gardener so that you can grow and be the best version of yourself. If the person that you're with, be it friends or romantically, if the person that you are with, right, does not want that for you, that's toxic. And you being there is toxic behavior. It's just toxic. So if you know that, if we know that, and we allow it to live, if you know what I mean? Like, if we walking around and we are reluctant to change that, then we don't deserve what it is that we think we deserve. If any of us can count on one hand the toxic people in our lives, then it lives around us, fam. It lives around us. So we'll see peace no day. We just won't see it, which then makes us a bunch of liars. We say we want something, but we ain't willing to do what it is to get it. Okay, the quote I made, just, a few minutes ago about, we only deserve that in which we work hard for. So if it's, you deserve to be cuddled and loved and held, if we deserve happiness, you got to work for it. You got to work hard for that. You don't, we don't just get what we deserve. It don't work like that. We got to work for that shit. You want peace, then act like it then. There's the old adage. That's not an old adage. Let me take that back. Some people say things, I used to say this myself when I was a kid, or coming up as a young adult or whatever. I would say, how come good people be struggling and them motherfuckers over there is getting it? Now that I'm older, I realize, shit, that's part of the problem. Number one, why am I so worried about what the next man got or the next whoever got? We don't know how hard they had to work to get what they got. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the problem, because you're too worried about other people. Too worried about what other people think. And then furthermore, okay, imagine the sense of entitlement, for us to think that because we're good people that we deserve all life's riches, or should I say all the riches in life, all this and all that, just because we're good people. So what? Black people have been trying to be good for I don't know how long, and look at our condition. Pockets. Watch last podcast and you know what I'm talking about in terms of pockets, right? But you don't just get what you think you deserve because you're a nice person. You can be nice to the motherfucker, but then be lazy as shit. You can be nice as hell, but you don't do research, about, say, how to expand your business or how to become an entrepreneur or of whatever kind. If you don't do the research, If you want to learn to do anything and you don't take the time to study it, to learn it, okay, sometimes the research you need to do could just simply be just rubbing elbows with the right people, so that they could give you some insight. You don't just get what you think you deserve because you're a nice person. It don't work like that. You could be a nice, unmotivated person. You can be a nice entitled person, which that's what a lot of us are. So when you say things like, how come, good people always get the short end of the stick and then the bad people, and all that is subjective. It's all subjective. It when you really think about it, when we say something's bad, it's really only because something or someone didn't match our expectations. It didn't happen in our favor, or you know what I'm saying? Or it made us look away, which is still not happening in our favor. Same thing with good. We call it good because perhaps we came out with, on top, or whatever the case was. So it's all subjective and it's all, made up concepts or whatever. But anyway, instead of worrying about what those motherfuckers over there are doing, how about worrying about what we're doing? And being nice is just not enough. Being a good person is just simply not enough. Being a decent person in life doesn't give you what you deserve. You have to negotiate it. You have to work hard for it. And the hard work is, again, if you want happiness or peace, is getting the toxic shit, all that shit that's not conducive to what we need to be happy, to be peaceful. If it's not conducive and we don't do anything about those things in which are not conducive to what we want, then we don't deserve what it is we think we deserve. I see that a lot. People in general, men, but especially women. Especially women. If I had a dime for every time I heard a woman talk about what they deserve, I deserve. What makes you think you deserve it? And if you deserve it so much, then how come you don't have it? Could it be that you haven't negotiated it? Could it be that you haven't worked hard for it? Yeah, I see you. You fine as hell. I see you. You fine. Man, you gainfully employed. Got that whip. You don't need nobody financially. But do you talk too goddamn much about how you don't need no man financially? Okay, I just want to be clear with that, because just because a woman is doing well for herself don't mean that she thinks she don't need a man. Someone feel like they don't need a man financially. You wearing that shit on your sleeve? Always got something to say? Shit, I get it. Shut the fuck up. Men too. Fuck out of here about all the shit that you have. Talking about you deserve this, that, and the third. Did you negotiate it? Did you work for it? Being a handsome brother, you know what I'm saying? With a big company, you have to work hard for it. You could be the biggest dickhead in the world. You could be the biggest asshole in the world. Which, so obviously you would, that individual, I guess those types of individuals live in all of us. So we would have to do what we need to do to change that in order to get in that which we deserve. You don't just get it. Unfortunately, it just don't work like that. And that's good. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, before I get out of here, I told y'all this was going to be short. Another thing, right, is that, while people talk about, not getting what they feel as though that they deserve, they start to question their purpose in life, or just the meaning of life, right? So I know nobody asked me, but if someone did, right, I would just be straight up, and I've probably said this before on this pod, but maybe one of my 6 subscribers missed it. All right? So I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I will keep it a stack, but I'd rather just give you 100 so you can hustle for the rest. Yeah. All right. The meaning of life. It's simple. There is no meaning to life. You heard me. There is no meaning to life. Okay, look at life as like 24 hours, right? If you got 24 hours, 24 hours by itself is just time. It's just 24 hours. Okay, but if you get up in the morning, meditate, work out, hug and kiss your loved ones, kids, your lady, whatever, put an honest day's work or take the day off, take a walk through nature, do something nice for someone, mentor some kids, whatever, and make the most out of that day. Make sure you laugh, keep it 100, be honest with yourself, most importantly, and be honest with people, period. I mean, that could turn out to be a pretty decent 24 hours. That could be 24 hours well spent. So the 24 hours by itself meant nothing. You made the best out of that 24 hours. So then which makes it more than just 24 hours. It was a beautiful, productive day. So take life, which of course is a longer span of time. Same way. Okay, the whole adage that life is what you make it. To make is to do what? To make is to create, to produce, to fabricate. So it sounds so simple, but the make part is the heaviest part. Life is just a long ass span of time to create something, to create meaning. The meaning isn't already there. Life is merely an opportunity for you to create some meaning so that it means something. What are you passionate about? Right? Who are you passionate about? What do you love? Who do you love? What do you want? What do you not want? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? Man, there's so many things to discover. And once you discover those things, then you go out and you make it happen. That is what gives life meaning. So life itself is just life. You could spend that whole life in a dungeon somewhere. You could spend that whole life in prison somewhere. You could spend that whole life in a pretty fucked up situation. Whatever you consider to be fucked up. Then life, it ain't much to that. And I suppose there's levels to it, because even in that situation, it's still up to you to figure out the meaning of that existence. So yeah, again, you're negotiating it again. You want the life that you feel as though you deserve? You gotta work for it. You gotta work for that life. You have to negotiate it. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. And you only are worthy to have that in which you work hard for. If you didn't work hard for it or negotiate it, what makes you think you deserve it? Because, if we're sitting around boohooing about what we didn't get because we deserve that shit, it makes us all sound entitled. That we think just being good, just putting on a smile, just because we're handsome, got a big dick and a chest, and you think because you're broad, because you got some good pussy and a banging body, that you deserve the world. You don't. We don't. We don't just deserve it right off rip. It just doesn't work like that. Excuse me. You got to work for that. You got to negotiate it. You have to negotiate for yourself. You have to broker deals for happiness. You got to broker deals for success and peace and the person that you want or the persons that you want. It doesn't just happen. Word. Another reason I wanted to do this pod, other than wanting to get all of this off, right? I want to inform you all that the first installment of the Love Doc is done. right? And not only is it done, it's right up under this podcast. Yeah. It's right up under this podcast. So I need all of you to check it out. It's premiering right now. I need you all to check it out and give me your honest critique. Matter of fact, it's not even that long, and you'll see why once you watch it. It's a powerful 21 minutes. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Listen, this is my shit. So I'm not bound by a certain formula, a certain time, length of time that these pods or this docu-film, man, you call it what you want to call it. Okay, I call it a docu-film. You call it what y'all want to call it. Just check it out. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, but the next installment is in the editing process. Okay? Instead of just one long production and just putting it out, I'm putting it out in pieces. Right? And after editing and making the most out of a lack of certain resources, right? It's editing. It causes you to chop this up. Some things end up on the cutting room floor. But anyway, the next installment is in the process as well. But forget all that. Right now, the first installment of the Love Doc is posted. It's right up under this one. All right, so I thank you in advance. Love. And that's it right there. I'm the God Rashidi. This is Hoodies. I don't even know what Elena is. Check it out.
Welcome to Hoodies, the podcast. We go with deep with the blast.